Hi, I'm Hans Holman, Executive Director of the Coller Institute of Private Equity at London Business School. I'm here with Professor Chris Higson, who is tonight in a Coller Institute exclusive going to present his research on private equity performance.
This is a project we've been working on for over a year now. The issue is the following, and I think it has been the most fundamental issue in the private equity debate over recent years. The world is desperate to understand the performance of private equity for all sorts of reasons. But it's a question that the private equity industry has made it very hard for the academic industry to answer. In fact, I would suggest almost impossible to answer. At the heart of the debate about private equity is this issue of exactly how private equity performs for its investors. And it's that puzzle we attempt to resolve in this research. And the puzzle was this. Two very reputable papers using Thomson data, which was the most commonly used data source for private equity performance, concluded that since its inception, let's say in 1980, the US buyout industry had at best broken even relative to the S&P 500, and according to one of the studies, had actually earned a return somewhat less than the S&P 500. And this was a surprise. I mean, critics of private equity would respond, well, why suffer the rigors of private equity investment if even investors are not making superior returns out of it? So that's the basic puzzle that's always beset the discussion about private equity, and it's that we are seeking to resolve in this research. We've soon tracked the problem down to data errors. It turned out to be the case that the TVE data that had been so influential had strong downward bias in it. We stepped aside from TVE data and started again, and we're very fortunate that Cambridge Associates allowed us to use access to their database. That was our starting point. We then assiduously hand-collected quite a lot more fund data. So as a result of our data collection, we have a database that fairly consistently, back to 1980, covers 85% of the US buyout universe. And we view that as comprehensive, and this data is of high quality. So then we can proceed to re-estimate and see just how US buyouts have done. The results are that indeed US buyouts have outperformed the S&P quite significantly. If you stop the clock at 2005, then over the period 1980 to 2005, the US buyout industry has delivered something like 8% per annum excess return over the S&P, which is very significant. If you roll the clock on to 2008, when things got much worse, of course, then that comes down to 5%, but it's still significant excess performance.